Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Crystal Lopez here from crystalandcomp.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make baked Puerto Rican chicken. This is a pretty popular old recipe over on my site. It's been on my site for probably 10 years. My husband's Puerto Rican. I really don't remember where I learned to make this recipe. I don't know if it was a family friend or if it was a mother-in-law or if it was just a recipe I found online. I have no idea. I don't know. I would have to read back over the blog post. I probably mentioned in there how I found it. But it is so super easy. 3 ingredients, that is it, and then you're gonna bake it. We're also going to make, to go along with it, Puerto Rican rice. Now that is something that my mother-in-law taught me how to make. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, Lenny's older sister, but I've watched my mother-in-law make this 100 times and it is so good, anyone can make it, okay? So to start off with, let me show you what you need for the Puerto Rican chicken. So you're gonna want bone-in, skin-on, either thighs or quarters. Quarters are best, like that's the original way that I made them, but at Sam's I could only find the thighs. So, did you know right now, thighs are with bone-on, skin-in, with bone-in, skin-on, they are only 92 cents a pound. This time last year, they were 99 cents a pound. So seriously, chicken is the cheapest thing that you can buy right now. So I have over 6 pounds here that I paid $6.23 for. Seriously, this is going to be a super cheap dinner. We're gonna leave the skin on it. We're not gonna debone it. It's gonna bring lots of yummy flavors and juices. It's gonna be awesome. The other star of the show is Sassoon. Have you ever bought this? This is awesome. You'll find it on the Hispanic aisle at the grocery store. They even sell it at Sam's here in San Antonio, but even when we lived in Dallas for all of my life, you could find this at Kroger, Walmart, whatever. When you open it, now obviously when you buy it at one of the like Walmart or Kroger, Albertsons, you're only gonna get a like a fourth of this size box. Okay, they look like this. They're little individual packets, and you just, like that, okay? For this much chicken, we're probably gonna use 3. But essentially, this is coriander, and what are all the seasonings that are in here? There are, now it does have MSG. So if you're allergic to MSG, you don't wanna make this. But it has salt, cumin, garlic, coriander, and annatto. I don't even know what that is, but it's a unique seasoning blend. You can use this to season any of your meats. A lot of people use it for their chicken, for their fish. You can use it for all kinds of things. It's a Goya product. We love this stuff. So there's that. The other thing that is the star of the show for this recipe is adobo seasoning. Now, typically I buy Goya brand adobo. You can get a ginormous thing of it for like $2, but all the stores were out of it, and I had a whole big container of it and it's gone. I don't know what happened to it. So you can get this for pretty inexpensively. This one is the Central Market brand that I grabbed at H-E-B here in San Antonio, but honestly, any brand of adobo will work. Again, star of the show. Let me wash my hands real quick. All right. So what we're gonna do is, for this much chicken, I'm gonna use 2 9x13 pans. Jack says hello. I'm gonna use 2 9x13 pans. You could totally do this and freeze it, okay? This could easily be a freezer meal, right? So I'm going to cut right into this little package here. Move, Rosie. All right, I am going to take my chicken thighs and just start putting them in here, just like this. Actually, I want to put this one on the end since it's much larger. Put the smaller ones towards the middle. Okay. And get the other pan going. You should be able to find chicken quarters for very inexpensive right now as well. Okay, so we're gonna wash and dry our hands. I'm telling you, chicken just kind of freaks me out. So it really doesn't matter what order you go in. I'm gonna do the sassoon first. We're going to just sprinkle on some of this. We have preheated our oven. So I'm going to use my second package on this second batch and just sprinkle it on. And see how this just starts to seep in and it makes it orange. Okay. Adobo. That's what's next. We're just gonna sprinkle that on. And adobo is salt, garlic, onion, other spices, pepper, chipotle peppers, oregano, cumin, turmeric, orange lemon powder, things of that nature. That is what adobo is. So we're just gonna sprinkle this on top. If you want, you can flip it over and do both sides. Honestly, I don't really think that it's all that necessary. Ooh, am I blowing this out? Okay, so there you go. That's it. We're gonna put this in the oven and let it cook at 350 degrees for about an hour. A little bit longer if it needs to, but honestly, just until the juices run clear and it's totally cooked all the way through. Now, the other thing I want you to keep in mind is this is gonna be super juicy because it has the bone in and it has the skin on. Now, when it's time to eat it, you can take the skin off. But this is going to make it super, super, super juicy. And then those spices and seasonings will work down into your chicken as well, okay? All right, so that is how simple this is. Let me get this going in the oven and then I will show you how to make the Puerto Rican rice when this has about 30 minutes of cook time left. Okay, but for now, let's get this in the oven. Hey guys, I am waiting on the chicken to get done in the oven. It is actually, it's probably time to kind of turn it down a little bit, honestly. It's been in there for about an hour. And this rice is gonna take about 20 minutes. So I am going to turn this down to about 195, okay? That'll keep it warm in there. I'm gonna show you now how to make the Puerto Rican rice. This is an authentic recipe. My mother-in-law taught me how to make it, like I was telling you before. But if you go to Puerto Rico, I'm assuming this is exactly how they make it, and this is what it tastes like. So, I have a child making Pop-Tarts next to me because he is tired of waiting for dinner, and you're gonna eat dinner, right, Luke?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my life. All right, guys, so let me show you how to make this. So for starters, I will either make this in one of my Dutch ovens that are, they have the two handles and they are cast iron, but they're porcelain coated. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, they're heavy. They're heavy like this. I will make it in one of these. Or, I figured I would make it today in this because my mother-in-law left this here. And this is like the kind of pot that she swears by making this in. My dishes end up at her house. Her dishes end up here. She brought Puerto Rican rice, I don't know, I don't remember what it was for. Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthday, just because, I don't remember. But this is here, and this is a great pan to use, or pot to use. So I'm gonna put it on about 8 for the temperature. If you have a gas stove, oh, I'm envious of you. Okay, so we are going, here are the things that we're gonna use. We've got olive oil. We have Gandules beans, which is pigeon peas, is another word for them. But this is what they look like. They are teeny tiny little teeny tiny little green beans. Okay, we're gonna use those. We're gonna use about half of this can of tomato sauce. A small can is perfect. I will freeze with what I don't use, okay? Salt and pepper. I'm gonna put in a little bit of olive oil right now. Guys, I'm gonna be real honest with you. It's been a minute since I've made this. Don't put that in there. Okay, we're gonna put in about 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. This is kind of a big deal. I know it sounds like a lot, but we're gonna put adobo in, like we did on our chicken. We're gonna do sazon. We're gonna do sofrito, which you can buy. This is some that my mother-in-law had made by somebody. I hope it's still good. It was good, but I don't know how long I've had it, so I hope it still tastes fine. But it is basically crushed up peppers and different spices. I think it's mostly peppers and spices and onion and stuff like that. You can buy it on the Hispanic aisle at the grocery store, but this is from a Puerto Rican store or from somebody that she had that made it. Garlic, you could do fresh or like this. We're gonna use water and we're gonna use, now here's how I learned to make it. And that is with 3/4 of a 2-pound bag of rice, white rice, not instant rice. Don't you dare use instant rice in this. And if you use brown rice, you're gonna be waiting a long time. So just use regular white rice. You need 3/4 of a 2-pound bag. That's how I learned to make it. That's what the recipe on my site says. So a pound is 16 ounces of rice. So I did right at 30 or 28 ounces. That should be good, okay? All right, seriously, it's been a little while since I've made this. I might be a little rusty. Okay, so we are going to start. I've got this heat up a little too high. I don't want my oil to get too hot, okay? Let me move this in a little bit and let me move it down. All right, there we go. Okay, so I am going to add some, honestly, I don't think I've made this since we've moved here to San Antonio. I'm gonna have to keep this handy right here. The only thing that's missing is olives, green olives, and I don't have any. I cannot believe I don't have any. But you wanna add in a little bit of olive juice and about 5 or 6 olives, green olives. But I don't have any, so, oh well. Okay, we're gonna add in some sofrito. Okay, whoop, I'm splashing that stuff everywhere. Okay, there is that. Oh my goodness. I have to read up for a second. Okay. Use a pot like you're gonna use for soup. Put the heat on medium. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Pour in, whoop. Put garlic all over your computer. Pour in the olive oil. Okay, we also wanna add in the salt and pepper. And we can always salt it a little bit more at the end. Salt, pepper, adobo, and sazon. Sazon, however you want to say it. Okay, actually, let me grab this spoon. Okay, we're making a little seasoning pot here. Okay. And if you buy sofrito pre-made, like in commercialized at the grocery store that has a shelf life of like, 3-4 years, it's probably going to be thicker and more tomato pasty. Okay. Jack says, hi, hop back, baby. I don't want this to get you. Okay. All right. If you have the olives, you can pour in the olive juice, about 3 tablespoons or so.
Today?
And the olives themselves, you need to step back, baby.
Mom, what are you making?
They really do add great flavor. Okay.
What are you making?
I'm making Puerto Rican rice, babe. So now I'm...
Spaghetti?
No. Very different from spaghetti. Here, let me have that. You need to step out of here. We're going to do like an 8-ounce can, but this is 15 ounces, so about half of it. of tomato sauce. Okay. See this coming together here? Let's let that get nice and hot. Okay. And we want to dump in our can of Gandules beans. Baby, you want to stay away, honey. You do not drain the juice off. You pour it all in. Okay, see how those look? Little green pea looking things. But they're not peas.
What is this? Is this
Tomato sauce. I'm going to freeze the rest of it.
Why?
Because I didn't use it all. So you've got, baby, you need to step out of here, okay? Hi, Jack. So you've got a nice pot here of everything that's going to flavor and season your rice.
You see my hand in the camera.
I do. I do see your hand in the camera. So let's bring this back to a boil. I really wish I had olives to put in here. This is so delicious. You're gonna love it and you're gonna make it a lot. Okay, I am gonna rinse off my rice. I'm not real consistent when I make rice. Sometimes I rinse it off, sometimes I don't. For this recipe, I always rinse it off because my mother-in-law told me to rinse it off, and so I just always did what she said, or do what she says. So I don't mean it like that. Like, she's not bossy at all, but I'm just saying it's just a routine because that's how she taught me to do it. So let me rinse this off real quick. We want to bring it to a nice rapid boil. Okay, we're going to add in our rice. Stir this up. This pan, the handles are going to get really hot. So we want this to fully coat the rice. And then we're going to add in, my mother-in-law, when she adds in the water, she just adds in enough water to kind of coat over the top of the rice a bit. Once I measured it just to see for the recipe what it would be, because I know it's hard to say things like 3/4 of a 2-pound bag of rice, or pour enough water in there until you've got this much over the top. So roughly 4 cups of water. So let me get some water and put it in here. So it's going to be just enough water to kind of bring, there we go. So your spoon is not going to move really easily through this. There's gonna be some resistance from all the rice. So you're not drenching it in water, but you can kind of see like the rice is right there underneath, okay? All right, so let's let this finish. Let's let it come back to a boil. And while we're waiting on it to come back to a boil, I'm actually gonna turn it up to high so that it will boil. So here's what I want you to know. While this is cooking, while you're waiting for this to come to a boil, you're gonna notice that some of the rice on the bottom is sticking. It is 100% normal, and it's actually an important part of the cooking process according to my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law and my husband. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna stir, some of it's gonna stick to the bottom, totally fine. Once this comes to a rapid boil and some of the water boils down, we're gonna wait for some of this water to boil down, then we're gonna pop the lid on it and put it on simmer, or you could even turn the heat off. I'll put it on simmer. And we'll put the lid on it and we'll wait for all of the liquid to absorb and to evaporate and for the rice to finish, okay? Well, then once it's all done, and I'm gonna show you in just a minute, when I take the lid off, the telltale signs of knowing that it's done. But what will happen is when you go and begin to stir it or mix it and pull the rice out of the pan and pull it away from the sides and the bottom, you're gonna notice that there's a nice crisp layer on the bottom of your pan of rice. And it's like crispy rice that's burned down into the pan. That is normal. It is actually delicious, and it is something that some people look for and want from the rice. So just know that you're not burning it. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just how this works. So there's nothing you can do to prevent it. It's what happens, and it's what's supposed to happen, okay? So I can feel some of it sticking down there, and more will stick as this continues to cook. So just, we're gonna let this continue to boil rapidly, and in just a bit, we will turn the heat down and put a lid on it. All right, guys, so when we take the lid off of this, this is what it'll look like when it's done. So you will have a bunch of steam come out, and then all of your beans, or a lot of your beans, will be up at the top of your pot. Do you see how all the beans are at the top of the pan? This is what it'll look like. And then when we stir, there's going to be a layer at the bottom that's stuck to your pan. Totally normal. That's what it's supposed to look like, okay? And there you go. There you have it. That's how easy it is. So we're gonna pair this. I'm just gonna stir it up real good. I'm going to pair this with the chicken that we made. Here's what our chicken looks like, all done. Look at that. Looks delicious.
You could glaze it some more if you like.
This was the one that was on the bottom. It got a little more done and caramelized. But here we go. All right, let's plate this up. So we are going to do a scoop of rice or two. And then a piece of the chicken. Look at how great that looks.